Hello and welcome to Pretty and Petty Podcast. If you don't know me already, where the fuck have you been? This is Esty here talking to you guys with in person my girls. We are off of Zoom today, which is amazing, right? I'm already getting tired of them, and it's only been 20 minutes, but it's okay.
But you walked in with that mindset, like literally, you're like,
you're just
an angry person.
Well, because I had to drive here, right? I don't like to drive.
Did we fly? We didn't fly. We fucking drove too.
You fucking live closer than I do. When you from New York, you don't like to drive. I mean, I don't, because in the Bronx, nobody has a fucking car. Everything is Uber and train and bus, right? Exactly. So there you go.
All right, well, you're so positive today.
Luckily for me, I won't be doing much of the talking. But if you don't know, yes, I'm with my girls Alex and Karen. And with us, we have a special guest. Woo. I'm going to let Alex say his name because she keeps correcting me on this here.
No, I didn't correct you. His name. So introduce him and then I'll tell you.
We have with us a special comedian and social media, I want to say king, because he is...
Sensation?
Yes, because he is all over. We literally found him. I found him through the Betches Instagram, which I love Betches because they really just... They give you all these cool memes and stuff like that. And they got me to see Gus, who we have on the show today. Costa Gus. Sorry, I got to say Costa Gus.
Well, Gus doesn't... I don't know. Gus, do you go by Costa?
I only do with my family and like Greek
with
people.
With my grandmother, with my yaya, and everything. He's like,
right.
Bitch, my name is Gus.
He's like, bitch, we just met. My name is Gus.
But I'm the youngest, so people call me Kostaki.
Aww, that's cute.
That was just really corny.
But it's cute
because it ended up cute.
I know.
Yeah.
No, it is cute.
I'm almost 30, and so it's like, I'm still getting called Kostaki.
We gotta stop.
Thanks.
Eventually, we gotta stop.
Thanks, Gus.
Well, yay! I'm not the youngest today.
Yeah.
I am the second youngest today, so that's awesome.
So that's your introduction to Gus?
Well, I wanted you to say his name, and now we know that his name is Kostaki. Did I say that correctly?
No, that's his nickname.
Yeah. That's my cute nickname.
That's his cute nickname. So anybody that wants to DM Gus and call him Kostaki, I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Well, you would have to DM him through...
I love it.
Through Gus, Constantly Gus, right? Is that the IM name, the IG name?
Yeah, that's my IG. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes,
Thank you for doing this. I am so happy that you decided to do this for us and with us because we found you again through the Betches IG, and then I was sharing like the New York story with the train and the cough drop, and I literally shared that to even my family. Like I gave them the link to watch. I was like, this is hilarious. And then also with the New York translation guide, which I'm like, yes, dead ass. Bacon, egg, and cheese, and salt, pepper. Yes, that's for sure.
Relatable.
Especially when you're from the Bronx and you're from Uptown, that's definitely our lingo. And then I decided to share one of your corporate guide emails because we all work in corporate. Right. So we definitely know what those fucking emails are about, right? The subtle indirections of, you're an asshole, you're a bitch, you're slow, like get it together, don't bother me. That's totally the attitude behind the emails, and I appreciate you saying that, and I shared it, and you decided to reply to us, and that's how we got together in this engagement. Do you often reply or send emails to people that DM you, or you were just like, they're pretty, I'll reply?
Do. No, I do. I reply to everybody because I try to like be like really personable and try to reply to everybody because what also really helps with your engagement. And so that's really good. I mean, not to be like whatever, but like that really helps. But also like, I just like having that like personal touch to it. So I try to reply to everybody unless they send me a nasty message, in which case I just delete it. But you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Get any of those?
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. Like one time I woke up to someone just being like, only Black Lives Matter. And I was like, what? And then they went, Greek lives don't matter. Do all lives not matter? And then they went on this whole rant. And I was like, All right, whatever. Good for you. I'm glad I got you so mad today that you decided to send me this at 7:30 in the morning. But whatever.
Oh my God,
But that's really it. I generally don't get a lot of nasty messages.
That's great, and I don't think you deserve any nastiness. No. I think from what I see from your IG, you're a great person, and definitely, again, you talking to a bunch of nobodies over here. So I appreciate you.
Please.
She's speaking for herself because I pretty much think I'm somebody. Alex, I think she thinks she's a somebody.
No, my dad tells me every day, you know what you are? You're something else. That's what you are. So. I'm told every day.
My mommy says I'm special.
Yeah. So that's good.
Well, today we're going to actually let you and, I guess, Alex discuss being Greek, right? Usually... Greek. People often think that Alex is Dominican, like Karen and myself,
or Puerto Rican.
Or Puerto Rican. She was called a Puerto Rican not too long ago. First of all, they said she was Greece. Okay,
yeah. not even Greek.
Not even Greek.
I'm Greece. Like Greece olive oil.
One, yeah.
The Greece.
And it's a constant like reminder, like, no, guys, I'm not Latina, I am not Dominican, I am Mediterranean and Greek. So we wanted to give her this platform and the show today to kind of like teach us, right? And
showcase her culture.
Yeah, and to lighten the listeners and the viewers, because we do put this stuff on YouTube, so people can actually see us. So I'm gonna actually let her.
Oh, now
I'm gonna pass on the mic and the power to her, and she's gonna carry on.
So
it's crazy because I was just in Arizona doing a stand-up show, and someone in the crowd was like, I have a question. And I was like, what? And they were like,
this isn't a Q&A.
I was like, this is not like, I'm doing a joke. Like, shut the fuck up right now. I was like, I'm following my dreams. Leave me alone. So then they started,
I have a question.
Then I was like, what do you want? And they were like, well, because this is Arizona. Keep that in mind. So they were like, you said that you're Greek, but aren't you Mexican? And I was like,
oh, hell
no. And I was like, I would be proud to be Mexican if I was Mexican, but I'm not Mexican. I was like, as if it's like that Seinfeld episode was like, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being gay.
Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I was like, I literally said that I was Greek like multiple times during the set. And then they were like, no, you're Mexican. And then someone else in the crowd was like, you're lying. You're a Mexican. And I was like, I literally.
God. You know what? After your story, I was going to say, I bet you that wasn't the only person in the crowd who thought you were Mexican. They were all probably like shaking their heads like, I thought I was asking the same thing. Why does he keep saying he's from Greece? Or
right. Well, because when he asked that, I was like, I could feel the room being like, oh, like nodding and being like,
right.
He looks Mexican.
And then the other half of the room was like, he's fucking Greek, obviously, you fucking idiot. Like,
did they start a rumble because of you and your identity, or
people were like, "This shit is whack." We thought he was a Mexican comedian.
No, I just had to be like, I just had to be like, no, I'm Greek. Can I move on?
Can I move on from my joke?
Can we leave the questions and answers section for the end?
But Gus, I totally relate with you because when I lived in LA, I used to have there was a guy in a cab and he was obviously taking me home and he was like, so you're like Puerto Rican, right? I was like, no, I'm not. I'm actually Greek. And he's like, no, you're not. He's like, you're Puerto Rican. I was like, no, I think I know what I am. I was like, from what I've been told by my mom and dad. And then he's like, no. He was like, stop lying. He was like, you're Latina. And I'm like, but there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I wouldn't deny what I am.
Right. It's like, again, not that, and I was going to say, like, it always happened to me when I lived in LA, because I lived in LA for 3 years. And like, at least like twice a year, someone in a bar was like, you're Latino or you're something. And I was like, again, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm literally Greek. Stop harassing me in this bar and leave me alone.
Did they start playing like Spanish music behind
like,
you?
You know this song. Baila. Stop playing. You know salsa.
I know.
Stop playing. You know.
So, but you know what? It also calls to mind, like, are people out there lying about their ethnicity? Like, is this like something that happens often where you have to question someone?
Dated a guy that actually lied about his ethnicity. He said he was Mexican Italian, ended up just being Mexican. And he was like, I was like, why didn't you just tell me that? And he was like, I didn't know if you would agree with that. I was like, from
agree
50%,
with what?
So now we know.
From 50% to 100%. Like I don't know. Oh shit, you're more than 50% Mexican. Nah, I'm out of here.
That's the deal breaker.
Well, Hilaria Baldwin lied about her ethnicity.
Yeah, she did about being Spaniard. Yes, she did.
Did that come out that she's a liar?
Yeah. Her parents came out, I think, and said, like,
damn,
she's
when your
from,
parents
like,
come
Greenwich,
out.
Connecticut.
Damn, when your roommates come out and tell you.
I know her parents were just like, we moved here like 5 years ago. What the fuck are you talking about? Because they live in Spain. They like her parents like live in Mallorca.
Yeah, but I think it's funny because I like to make fun and say I think she was just like a summer program student, like, you know, when you're in college, like an exchange student in Spain, and now she comes back. She's like, my name is Maria Consuelo Rosario de la
Hilaria.
And she starts with the Z's, like Enrique Iglesias. Enrique Iglesias.
But we had a coworker. Actually, we had a former coworker, and the girls actually we at one point worked in the same company. That this lady also she did not acknowledge her Dominican side and only her Spaniard side. And whenever I'd be like, no, but aren't you part Dominican too? Like, and she was like, no, I'm just Spaniard. And people are like, no, she's Dominican too, but she wouldn't acknowledge it. So maybe that's why people come up to you or I and say, like,
you know what? Honestly, hearing all these examples, now I feel like I'm giving a lot of these people more grace next time someone asks me that. Like, I'm just going to be like a little kinder and be like, no,
I may look this way.
Right, I'm not lying. I know other people may have lied to you. I know you probably have like a lot of trauma around this, but like I am Greek.
Go full, like Freud on them. I understand. We can talk about this. You tell me about your mother and why you deny your religion.
Yeah, or be like, here's a copy of the census that I filled out 3 years ago, so that you can see how I identify myself as a human. Like, does it even matter? The question is, does it really matter where you're from, right? It doesn't in a perspective of personality-wise, and I guess, you know, for the nature of the jokes and how you're presenting yourself to people. But should it be like, you're Mexican? Who fucking, even if you were, who fucking cares?
Yeah, right, again. Right, I was just like, there's no reason for me to lie about this, and if I was, I would be so proud of it, but I'm not. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yes, I am Mexican, next question. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you're right. You're totally right. Stranger in the audience, you're 100% right. Who else?
Drunk stranger in the audience.
Yes, I am Italian. Yeah.
But you know what's funny is that you went full New York. You were like, what?
Yeah.
No, I'm fucking Greek. All right? Anyway, next thing. So my joke is now ruined.
Anyway, my parents own a diner. Next question. Let's move on.
So that actually comes to the question. So now that I have you to myself. So I told the girls, first of all, I go, this is even playing field now. I go, which is awesome, right? Because now I got a fellow Greek. But I always tell them about the stereotypes that we have, right? So like one stereotype of being Greek is that all Greeks own diners. Now, I fall in that stereotype because we were actually sitting in my dad's restaurant. That is a Greek restaurant. But that's like
I could tell something Greek was going on because of the background. There's like columns and then pictures of Greek beaches.
So we're in my dad's restaurant. It's called Santorini because we're from there. So like that's why it's like that. But it's just so funny because I was like, how can I say like that's a stereotype when I'm actually in my dad's restaurant? But a lot of people think that every Greek owns either a diner or a food establishment. And that was like one stereotype that I always tell the girls, like, yeah, if you're Greek, then you're this. So like, I wanted to like ask you, like, I see that like on Instagram, you do a lot of like stereotypical things for like Greek moms. Which is hilarious because I think it falls for all like ethnicities, how moms are, but especially the Greek moms, very tough, very like stern and stuff like that. But I wanted to know, like, growing up, what was like a stereotype that people thought, oh, you're Greek, do you live just in Astoria? Like I didn't grow up in Astoria.
I did.
Oh, Karen, see, Karen's more Greek than me. So yeah, go ahead. Like, I didn't know what you came up with.
So it's interesting because we were not stereotypical. Like my dad's a tailor. And so he was working as a tailor for a long time, doing alterations. And then in like 2015, I would say, he opened up his own business finally. in Midtown, which is great. And my mom, we were super poor. So my mom was like cleaning houses and she was nannying for a few kids, like when I was growing up too. So like, that's what they did. So we didn't even have a restaurant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I wish my parents had like Neptune Diner. You know what I mean? Damn.
Wish I love that diner.
I love that diner. That's a good diner. But I was also really short. I'm only 5'2", so I'm very short. And like pant sizes are so hard to come by. So I'm like so lucky that my dad's a tailor because I never had to worry about it. Do you know what I mean? Like my pants would always look so fresh and like everyone would be like, okay, what? And I'm like, I'm so short. Get on my level, you know? Whatever. Then my mom cleaned it. So the only stereo, and we also like, we didn't live in Astoria. We lived in Bay Ridge in Brooklyn, which is like it's like little Greek town. Yes. I would call it like little Astoria, Bay Ridge, because there's so many Greeks there. I think the only stereotypical thing we had was like the crosses everywhere and all the icons. Too much.
Mm-hmm. So that's funny because are your parents still like one of those parents that like they have to make their house known or anyone know that they're Greek? Like, my dad has to make people know that we're Greek. Like, our restaurant has a big statue outside, a big flag. Everything is blue.
They have columns outside.
Like, we have a big Greek flag, yeah.
You do? You have the flag outside your house?
Yeah, we have a big Greek flag. And my dad has a flag outside of his business, too.
Yeah, it's more of, I feel like Greek people, we're very proud. Of what our culture is. And then also like I don't know if the movie like holds any like similarities to your life, but like we always want to let you know that like this all descended from Greeks. like when he talks about the kimono and his kimona, like he wants to make sure that you know that every language also everything started from the Greek word and then kind of filtered down to you. Mm-hmm. But I feel like always like growing up Greek. So one true fact though. I'll come clean here, Gus. So my dad is Greek. My mother wasn't. My mother was Middle Eastern. But born and raised, like our tradition is you go by what your father is, like in regards to religion and all that. My mom was Coptic Orthodox, which is Middle Eastern Orthodox, but I grew up Greek Orthodox, all that. I'm on the Greek board. I run the Greek festival. Mm-hmm. I'm the biggest like Greek thing, right? People are like, yeah. So,
but do you speak Greek?
And then, I got kicked out of Greek school. I don't know if you ever had to go on Saturdays.
I had to go Wednesdays and Fridays, 2 days.
Yeah.
That's like intense. And it was like after school too.
Yeah. So we had Saturday mornings basically from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I got kicked out because at one point I'm like, I don't need to learn this. This is boring, which now I regret. But I got kicked out because every time she would come to me and she would ask me something in Greek, and I'd be like, I don't know, I speak English. And she would be, and I'd be like, then Catalaveno Ellenica. And she's like, really? She's like, okay, so then go find, you need to understand Greek. You need to say the alphabet. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, alpha, beta, zeta, beta. Like, and so she went to my dad and she's like, she's a lost hope. And I see her in church a lot too, and she's like, you still don't know Greek, right? And I'm like, no, bitch, I don't. Just light your candle and move on. So it's so bad. I regret it now. But yeah, my dad even will bring it up where people will come and speak to my dad in Greek, and he's like, yeah, this is my daughter, and they'll start talking in Greek, and I understand it, but I reply in English. And he's like, you see, if you stuck by it instead of watching cartoons, what did the cartoons on Saturday morning get you? Nothing.
You're like Captain America. Like, not Captain America. What's the one? Captain Planet. Captain Planet. You're like, dude, I know about the environment.
And mind you, my mother was like, well, she knows my language because my parents would leave me at night when they would have to work with my grandmother, and that's my mom's side, who'd speak Arabic. So I knew Arabic. So my mom's like, well, I'm kind of set on our side. I don't know. You got to fix her on your side. But yeah, so that was the whole thing in regards to the stereotypes. But I know that the ladies have some stereotypes that they want you to clear up, because I try to clear it up, but
well, I don't want to clear up stereotypes.
I actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gus. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, my mom doesn't speak any English, so the only reason I know Greek as well as I do is because my mom and all my aunts and uncles never learned the language.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to learn. I just have to know it because of that.
Yeah. Did you become like the
it doesn't,
translator
because Greek school was a fucking waste of time. Because Greek school, you'd go, you wouldn't learn anything.
No, play.
You do like one lesson of history, and you would start doing the pageants. It was like the winter pageant, the May pageant, the spring pageant, the Easter pageant.
Yeah,
so it was like you do one history lesson, and then the next
pageants entail?
No, we had to do like Christmas. We had to do the whole nativity scene. I was Mary at one point. I mean, I'm like, but
I was an angel. I had these fucking shitty wings and this gown. I looked like it was awful. This white gown, it's terrible.
Yeah, we didn't have the money in our church to like go get your mother's tablecloth, wrap it around as a white sheet, and that was your like with a rope, and that was me going into the manger. But you're right, Greek school never taught me anything. That's why I just at one point I'm like, Dad, I'm not learning there. And my dad didn't have time to sit there. And it's right, unless you go to Greece every summer for like 3 months and you would learn, or you had someone at home that was completely like nonstop Greek.
Yeah.
Did you become the translator, Gus, since
Greek
your
school,
parents didn't speak English?
Yes, I did. My dad knew English, thankfully, but he would work all the time. So I would have to take, and I was the youngest, so I'd have to take my mom everywhere. She'd take me like Century 21 to do all her returns. Oh, I kept doing this. Let's go. Like, I'm like, leave me alone, man. Tell them doesn't fit. The button is missing. I'm like, stop yelling at me. I'm just trying to communicate. Like, the thing is, they always yell at you in Greek while you're trying to talk to the person, and like the person's like staring at you, and you're like getting yelled at, and I'm like. They think it's child abuse, and I'm just like, the button's missing, and my mom is like, tell them it's terrible. This store has gone to shit, and I'm like, stop yelling it, please stop.
You're like, Mom,
I'm not going to tell her this.
So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to break it to you that
$34.99 back or not.
This happens to all of us who have parents who are not fluent in English.
Yes.
Because here they are, and it's funny because they're having a long ass conversation. Tell them that it's this, and I don't like it, and the store, and the girl was mean, and this and that, and you're like, she wants to just return this, and the person is like, I know she's saying more than that, and you're like, no,
she's cursing you out, but we don't want to tell you why.
So we fit that same bill as well as Dominicans, as parents with parents who don't speak the language very well.
Absolutely.
And it was always so normal in New York growing up because I just like saw other kids doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, like that kid also has a parent that doesn't speak English. Mm-hmm. And then I went to LA and then I went to college and I was like, oh shit, never mind. Everyone is white. This is crazy. No one has ever heard Spanish or another language before in their lives.
Holy
here.
Shit.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's a culture shock.
That is a culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, I wanted to. I didn't want to do stereotypes so much, but I did want to press on the fact that I've known Alex. I mean, she's one of my best friends, and I've known her for over 15 years or so. And recently, I hung out with her. I came to pick her up at her house, and when I look up at the garage, her father has painted the garage blue and white, as well as the front door.
The Greek flag. He's
blue and white.
He's very proud.
And I said, now I've been to your house multiple times. Is this new? And she was like, yes, my dad just did this last week. Yes, he did.
I don't know what came over him. It's just he wanted to show it off. He did the porch. He colored it all blue. He did the outside door blue.
Yes.
He made now people come and take pictures in front of my driveway. My friends, they'll take pictures or Instagram story. Hey, look where we are. This is like an attraction in the town. We gotta come see it.
A landmark.
It's embarrassing.
They're like, this is where Tula lived.
Yeah.
That bitch.
That bitch.
And they're all like, well, if we ever needed to know where you lived, now we know
just
where to follow
the blue.
Or when you're giving directions, you'd be like, you see the house with the flag, you make a left and go down 2 more lights, and then you're there.
We're a corner house already, and I'm like, Dad, we really didn't need to like bring up more like attention to us. He's like, what's wrong with it? It's beautiful. I'm like, okay.
No lie, you're gonna get robbed.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a big neon Greek sign.
Yeah.
It's literally, people are like...
Leave your lights on every time you leave.
Every time.
All the time.
Every time we have the lights on. Well, we have a crazy bird anywhere in there because my dad likes noise, apparently. He has this huge bird that doesn't shut up and cries bloody murder. But, I mean, people are like... Alex, like, honestly, if anyone had any doubt that you were Greek, this is just like above and beyond letting them know verification that you guys are Greek and proud. I'm like, you know, my dad, what am I going to do? I can't say anything. It's his house. I don't live there. But when I do pass by, I always get a honk from someone like, hey, love the driveway. I'm like, no, you don't, you bastard. You just want to talk shit. Talking shit. Your house doesn't have this. Don't play. So...
and what I also wanted to mention is I've also gone to Greek mass, okay, which I find amazing
and
extremely long.
Depressing.
Not depressing.
Yeah, it is.
You know, because I'm Catholic and Catholic masses are depressing as well, right? And I had a Greek coworker one time say, the Catholics are Greeks, Orthodox's like more rebellious cousin. Like Catholics are more outgoing. So, and I've always thought Catholic mass was pretty sad. But your Greek mass, so long.
Yeah, we want to suffer.
Like it's literally 2.5 to 3 hours long. And not only that, let's talk about the Eucharist. The Eucharist is not a flat little piece of circular bread. You guys actually have bread.
Really?
Bread and the wine, it's soaked with wine, and they're like literally giving it to you in a spoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't do side wine like you guys alcoholics do. I know, sipping that.
Yeah. I've seen old women get down in the Catholic church with that cup. I'm like, there's a line.
No.
Yes.
No, my mother would make me skip around. She's like, don't put your mouth on that.
No.
Don't put your mouth. Walk around that.
No,
don't.
Greeks are, Orthodox is long. I mean, if you go to a wedding, you might as well plop a seat. Don't get there because you're going to be there for a while. It's like.
Oh my God. Well, the issue is because it's in English and ancient Greek.
Yes.
And that's why it's long, because it's just twice as literally twice as long.
They're repeating themselves.
They have to do it. Mm-hmm. And ancient Greek, by the way, ancient Greek is not Greek. Like Greek and ancient Greek, it's very different. So you can't even understand ancient Greek. So there's just a full hour and a half of mass that no one understands what the fuck is going on.
No, it's Byzantine.
No one, not a single fucking person.
And you don't know. You're like, what the hell did he say?
So what are you doing while you're getting this lecture?
I watched the priest.
I would read. I would bring books.
You would?
No.
I would bring books and my mom would yell at me and all the old ladies would yell at me and be like, and like one time some nuns were like, you're reading Harry Potter, you're gonna go to hell, it's the devil's worship. And I was like, make this more interesting. I'm entertained. Like, make this a little more fun.
We are. Have you gone to like a Latin mass? They got a band and everything.
Yeah,
Someone's
we are
singing.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm over here like, we got one guy. We got one psalty and he's singing like death. Like, I'm like,
Christos
and then what's funny is, do you ever like, I never know when to stand up or sit down. I always have to look at the Despina. I always look at the priest's wife. When I see her stand up, that's when I stand up. I'm like, it's time to stand up. You don't know what the hell's going on.
That's your cue. You're like, I'm just following her for social cues.
I look at the first row tulas. I look at them. I'm like, they know when to stand up.
The aunties. Tula.
Well, let me. If you ever go to a Greek mass, you'll see all the widowed Greek women. They kill their men. I feel like all the old ladies, all their husbands are dead. And my dad, that's why my dad reminds me, that's why I didn't marry a Greek woman. She would have put me in the grave. She would have killed me. She would have killed me quick. No, but they're all like old ladies with their stockings like down and their long skirts, and they're just all in black in a row. And I'm like, yeah, these are the ones that look down on you too. Like, you got too much makeup on for a Sunday.
Do you think you would be like one of those women at some point in your life?
Or do you aspire to be one of those women at one point in your life?
I already have an attitude. I don't know. They're very grumpy. Like, I don't know. I'm this grumpy now. I don't know if I'll be grumpy.
You might fall in.
No. I'm sorry, but you're heading there.
I'm heading
because you're young and you're grumpy. it's only a few more steps before you're old and grumpy.
She has to go to Century 21 to get the black skirts and the black stockings.
It's the Greek in you. You get irritated. And everybody, I don't know, that comes to church is just mad. I never see anybody happy when they come to the front.
Because they know they're going to be there for 2.5 hours or 3.
For 3 hours,
and they
dying,
have laundry to do.
And you know what? I don't know about you, but do they hit you up? Like, I know that if I go to church, I gotta at least have like $20, $30 on me because they will hit you up for some money for a raffle ticket.
Yeah, you guys did pass around that basket a couple of times.
You do that to us.
To them, like a raffle.
That basket goes through so many times.
You're times.
Like, come on, man.
They weren't aware of that. When Karen came to my church, she's like, why are they passing a basket? I'm like, what do you think, bitch? You gotta drop some money. They never seen you before.
No, we have the same thing in Catholics.
We do that. Yeah. But I went to Alex's mom. So Alex's mom is not here with us anymore. So I went to her memorial mass and it passed.
And then passed again.
And then it passed again.
And then one more time.
And then I was like, oh, okay. Because they do that in church for us. And then they passed it again. And I was like, listen, all right, I'm not a stripper. I don't have that many fucking singles in my pocket. All right? What do you want from me?
So they wanted not a single. They wanted a 20.
They wanted to finish a single.
Had they warned us at the beginning,
then you wouldn't come. You wouldn't come in. You wouldn't come in.
Like, I don't have money to sit here.
I'm sorry.
You don't have money to stay for the match. You got to drop money.
Jesus,
that's an entrance fee right there. That's an entrance fee.
Yeah. Shit. Esty, is there anything you want to add to that?
Well, they saw you. They were like, she's new.
Yeah, she's new. Right
and
away.
She may have money.
You know, that's how we hustled. They were like, they're new. They never come here. They probably won't come again. Try to hit them up for $20.
But if it's not going to the pageants, where the fuck is the money going to?
What do you mean? We have to pay for candles and for the Con Edison and for the priest's salary. You don't think? What do you think?
He's shaking his head. He knows.
He knows. Like, it's listen, I'm on the board.
Exactly it.
I'm on the board. I've been on the board for over 10 years, which is sad because I started in my 20s. And every fucking month that we go there, it's all talks about how broke we are. I'm like, isn't there a day where a month we can talk about finances and we are not in the negative? I feel like
well, they always talk about how broke they are, but in my Greek school, like our teacher, I'm not going to name names, but she got fired because she was stealing money from the fucking school.
There's always one.
There's always, no matter where you are.
She was, yeah. But you know what? One of those pageants, I was Santa Claus. I had to wear a red T-shirt.
You was the hood Santa Claus.
Yes,
Did you wear red and white Jordans too? Did you have to?
I wore a red T-shirt and red sweatpants, and then like a shitty 99-cent like Santa hat and a black belt. And they were like, it was embarrassing.
What was your beard? It was literally cotton balls. Glued together.
I was 7 years old, so I'm Greek, so it was a full beard by then.
Somehow I believe that.
Yeah, he's like, let's hairy Greek.
We're very hairy people. That's the one thing I regret. I be telling my dad, I'm still waxing. What's going on with all this hair? It doesn't stop.
You know what I wanted to ask you, Gus, is because the Greek community is a very tight-knit community, right? That I do know and that I have recognized, right? How do they take the fact that you're a comedian and you're doing this and basically poking fun at your aunties and the people in your community?
And your people,
like, how do they take that? Are you the one that they look at your mom like, he became nothing?
No, actually, well, my mom is still like, it's not too late to become a lawyer. I went on with my mom.
Yeah, see, I knew it.
I literally went on Greek TV on the news with my mom to get interviewed, obviously for my comedy and like, the videos and whatever. She literally on Greek TV was like, it's not too late to become a lawyer. I cannot believe. And then I gave her like a back massage one day and she's like, you should really do this. Like, you're really good at this. You should go to school and do this.
She's constantly looking for careers for you.
And I was like, I really think it's too late. Like, I think I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'll be fine. Like, I figured it out, Mom. But it's funny because I've been really embraced by the Greek community and I feel really lucky because of that. And I think it's mostly, I'll be honest, it's just because of the fact that I'm gay and like I'm a guy in a wig. It's mostly the more liberal Greeks.
Right.
And like those people obviously can take a joke better and like understand why it's funny and like the humor behind it. Mm-hmm. And plus I feel like it's because I'm actually like, I'm not just doing like Greek stereotypes and like, I mean, I am, but I'm also like, I'm impersonating like an actual person, which is my mom. Yes. And like, there's layers to that. It's not just like a silly character. It's like, oh, this is a real person. And like, there are layers to her, and like things that people find very recognizable that like I do that I think people relate to. Like I get the note, they're like, you don't understand, like the way the mannerisms, the way you like inflect your voice is so specific. And I'm like, yeah, like I really study my mom for that. And I think that's what's relatable for people and why they find it funny.
Yeah. Does she change? Like, oh, I'm sorry. Does she change her personality? Not her personality, but like the way she kind of is around you now because she feels like he's going to use me as a joke.
Yeah. He keeps watching me.
No, not at all. No, not at all. She's really actually embraced it now. At first she was like, no. But now she's embraced it and she loves it.
She's
so like,
famous.
I'll be like, okay, I'm going to film now. And she'll be like, okay, I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like she'll like turn around and like have like a one-liner ready to go. It's really cute. But she doesn't like, we don't do multiple takes. We don't do like any preparation. I want it to be like, if I film her, I want it to make sure that it's like really organic. Because she's not like, you know what I mean? She's not an actress. Like she's just like a funny person.
She's just your mom. Yeah. She's just a regular.
And I really try not to film her a lot. Like I'll try to be like, okay, today I'm filming, but like the next like 4 times I'll see her, I won't do anything because it's like I don't want it to like burden her.
Of course,
right. She's gonna be like, you just using me now for the like
material.
Yeah,
I'm just material.
Right.
Material, mom.
Right, but then she'll call me and she'll be like, listen to this, and I'm like, oh, here we go. But like she called me about the vaccine. She got the vaccine and she, after the first shot, she was like, my arm hurt. I couldn't move my arm. Your dad, his dick got cut. And I was
like, wow. I was not expecting that.
Your dad, he kept me up all night.
Damn. It was like Tuesday at 3:00 in the afternoon. I was like, leave me alone. I'm working.
Like,
and she goes, for hours.
Ma'am, this is wrong.
That's a line awesome. That she definitely crossed.
She goes, I didn't know what to do. I just left the room.
I left the room. She's like, I'm not dealing with that shit.
Your problem
with this shit. You take care of that yourself, buddy.
Tell your father to take
care
of that.
Was that supposed to be like a warning for you? Like,
don't come visit your father.
These are the side effects that they're not talking about on the news.
So just be careful and mindful when you get your vaccine.
Because
your dick is going to get hard.
Only Greeks. I've never heard some shit like that in my life. But you know what? My dad, when he got his vaccine, he was like, I think I'm different. Something I feel something different. I'm like, Dad, your arm just hurts. He's like, no. I think, it took, because I used to have something before, I think I took it. When I take this shot, it's going to affect me different. I'm like, Dad, you're fine. You're fine.
Everyone. Well, I mean, after the second shot, I took the Band-Aid off and there was some liquid and I was like, oh no, it all seeped out. Like, people get really weird.
I need to do osmosis.
It is what it is.
It came out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Right. Like he's like, the mutation is not working for me. I'm just still regular.
Damn it. It didn't take.
Oh my goodness.
It didn't work.
No. But what I was going to add to that is basically it works for you because you're not someone else. Like you're not from another culture making fun of, a culture. You're literally saying, this is me. This is what I've seen. This is what I have in front of me. This is what I've grown up with. Right. So it works, and it's not just relatable to Greek culture. It's relatable to all of us who have or come from similar cultures, right? You're like, oh shit, my mom talks like that, she acts like that, and I get it, like, so that's what makes you so much
even with relatable. The cleaning, because he had a whole skit about like my mom coming to clean and he had to like his mom, and I was like, that's definitely my mom, because I could clean my house and my mom will be like, you left this dirty, and then she'll rearrange all my stuff and I'm like,
everything,
do I live here? Like everything is different.
Not today.
Yeah.
She moved
not when she's there.
Yeah, she literally will clean my house.
There'll be like one plate in the sink. She'll be like, you live like this? Like an animal? I'm like, really,
big.
Really, like...
Oh
yes, you big. I did not raise you this way.
Because my dad wanted. Dad, come. Don't worry, you look great. My dad wants to say.
This is George.
So this is my dad. Come
closer. Hi.
Dad, this is Gus.
Nice to meet you.
Gus, just say hi.
Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Really?
He's Greek. Yes.
Okay.
That's it?
All right, that's it.
That's it? Well, he's not like your mom.
It's like, where do I
he's
stand?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's
Do I say something?
No. So Gus, obviously from all this stuff on Instagram, did that push you to now do stand-up? Because I know stand-up is hard. And is that what?
No, I was doing stand-up before.
Reverse.
You were doing first.
So I was doing stand-up really hard before. Yeah, and I was really, before the pandemic, I'd been doing stand-up for about 4 years.
Wow.
And I started in LA when I lived in LA, because I moved there when I was like 22, and then I moved back when I was 25. And I did it a lot in LA. And LA is kind of a weird place to start doing stand-up because it's like a place you go when you've, kind of already established yourself. Like if I went to LA now for the first time, I would probably be in a much better position.
Right.
But like starting, it's like, you get bumped by like, Sarah Silverman, and you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going on tonight.
Yeah, like, okay,
so
I guess.
I came back. Right. And so I went back to New York with the intention of like, I'm going to do stand up really hardcore. So I did it for like basically a year and a half, or two years before the pandemic hit. And I had really like moved up. I was doing like 3 or 4 shows a night by that point. So I was just like hustling. And then the pandemic hit, and I was like, I had done like video stuff before. And then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to put all my effort into doing video stuff. And then I really blew up around like April during like last Easter, Greek Easter. And so I've just been really lucky since then.
That's awesome. Yeah. So like right now you're back into stand up. Where can people find you? Like what are you
for your shows?
For your shows, like what's your next show? I know I saw some coming up. There's one tomorrow, right? Is there one tonight too?
I'm doing Central Park tonight, and then I'm doing a rooftop in Williamsburg tomorrow.
Nice.
And so I put all my shows are going to be my stories, and I'm going to include like a link to like just literally a Google Cal that I have like all my dates.
Okay, great.
And you can go see it there.
Awesome. Now, one more question. What made you go into like comedy? Like, what was your like moment where you're just like, no, I'm gonna do this?
Endless material.
Greeks, mom.
Just general material too. It's hard, yeah.
So my mom, it's interesting because my dad like loves stand up. Like my dad is super cool, and like he like loves like things about American culture, and he's like really into like heavy metal, like Led Zeppelin and Ozzy Osbourne, and he like loves comedy. Like he loves like really raunchy comedy. And so we would watch like George Carlin growing up and Lisa Lampanelli. Me and him like loved Lisa Lampanelli. I was like, oh, that's always interesting. And I would watch Kathy Griffin in college. And then in college, there was a talent show. And I was like, I'm going to do stand up. I had never, ever, ever done stand up before. But I was like, I'm going to do stand up at the talent show, whatever. And I like won the semifinals.
Oh,
like, I just like won first place.
Awesome.
That's good.
And I was like,
oh
okay,
shit, I made it.
A star is born.
Yeah. He got it right there. He was like, I made it. That's it.
We're far from the shallow now. So then I had to do like the final round, and I lost the final round, but like it is what it is. But Lady Gaga's mom was a judge at the final round.
No,
like she was one of the judges. So after I went up, she told me it was really funny, and I was like, "Thank you so much for giving birth to Lady Gaga. You're so great."
She like tell her to take my number.
I was like, take my number, send it to Stephanie. But she was really like supportive and funny. And I was like, I should keep doing this. And then I started doing it. And then my boyfriend was like, you should start doing like video content. And I was like, but how? And he's like, slap on this stupid wig and just say lamb like for a minute straight into the camera. And I was like, great. So literally the first Greek mom video is just me going, you want lamb? Do you want some lamb? I have lamb. Like that's it.
And that was it. Isn't that crazy though? Like something so simple can blow up and put you in the position that you're in now.
Yeah.
And it's like people literally
it's
like,
so dumb.
I want to do something great. Literally just do something. Pick anything you want. Pick a prop. Put it on Instagram or social media, whatever.
Yeah, you just have to kind of believe in
yourself.
yourself.
Laugh at yourself. Let people laugh at you. Don't take it personal. Let people go with it.
There's some people that pick up a mop and you're like, all right, whatever.
I always say the best and worst thing about TikTok is that you can get famous literally doing nothing.
Right.
And like, so use that to your advantage where you're just like, if I literally just have to like set up a tripod and talk to the camera, okay, great. You know what I mean? Easy.
Right.
No, it's true. It's
true. Great. But we're happy that, we caught you before you really, really blew up. And then we're going to be like, we know him. They're going to be like, yeah, sit down.
Yeah, he's going to be like, what's your name?
No, he's going to be like, you have to pay for your ticket. But you said whenever we're in town, it's on you. We're like, yeah, that's a Greek thing. Sit your ass down and pay the $50.
And when you come to church, bring your wallet.
I'm bringing your wallet. I'm gonna be like, no, I know him.
It's
He's
a 2-drink minimum.
Yes,
it's a two drink.
exactly.
I'm like, but I know him. He said bottles on him next time I come. Yeah. He doesn't recognize you or recall doing anything with you. So you sit in the back.
Yeah. Other than the stand-up, Gus, are you working on any other projects? Because I think I saw that you mentioned the Rugrats, which is why I'm wearing this Rugrats T-shirt. I was like,
he was on Real Housewives too.
So you're too. I love it. No, I couldn't see that it's a Rugrats shirt because you're too far, but I love that. I did work on the new reboot that's coming to Paramount Plus. I think it's going to start. I think the first episodes are going to drop May 21st, and I wrote one episode for it, so I'm really excited about it. But now and now I'm working on a show for Netflix that I can't talk about, but I've been writing for that, and it's another kid show because I focus. Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone.
It's a secret.
By the way,
it's a secret.
But it's a really fun show, and it's also a kid show, so I'm really excited about it.
Okay,
That's awesome. Congrats on that. I think that's a great
congratulations.
accomplishment.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all your endeavors.
Yes,
right?
and good luck with everything else that's coming for you. Definitely deserve it.
And thank you for coming on because
No,
we know
thank you so much for having me.
You have a busy schedule.
Yes.
You're working tonight. You're working the next couple. It's.
hopefully
we
we can go
appreciate
see you. We can catch you in live, and you recognize us, and not be like, yeah, I don't know you.
Like Mariah Carey, I don't know her.
I don't know her.
The Pretty and What podcast? No, I'm
You're
kidding.
like,
No, I'm sorry. I don't.
Ugly Insecure podcast.
That's what she likes to call us, ugly and insecure. This bitch all the time, every episode.
I'm
Anyways.
just saying.
I
Well, thank
love
you so
that.
much,
Thanks,
Gus.
Gus.
And again, let people know your Instagram name and how they can reach
Find
you
you.
and everything else. So just
Yeah, it's constantly Gus on Instagram. Thank you so much for having me. It was great meeting you. Next time I'm coming to Sleepy Hollow because I really want to hang out, honestly.
Well, if
Yes.
you come to Sleepy Hollow, it'd be nice to come like during like Halloween and stuff. That's what we're really known for.
Yeah.
he wants to come eat
Oh,
the
I know.
food.
I've always
But
wanted
you
to go
can come
there.
in the summer for sure. We'll meet you here. You come
Yeah.
eat, and don't worry, it is on me. Don't worry, we won't throw a bill at you at the end. Like, bitch, we ordered 3 bottles, and you. I was like, no.
He's just gonna leave anyway. He'll be
He's
like, I'm
gonna
going to the
walk away.
bathroom.
He's gonna
I'll be
go
right
right
back.
Bye. You said it was on you. I'll see you later.
She's got a few exits.
And then I'll be like,
doors here.
Are you Puerto Rican? Aren't you Puerto Rican? Yeah, okay. See you later.
You're gonna be like, I left the bill with the Puerto Rican owner.
Tell her the Mexican guy said bye.
Mexican guy said bye to the Puerto Rican.
He said peace, adios.
Well, thanks again, Gus.
Thanks
for
again, bye.
filling in the gaps. And yes, we want to say bye to you.
We appreciate it.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening and watching to the Pretty and Petty podcast.
Why did you get all ASMR?
Why are you? And first of all, why are you so like?
Because
fucking,
he went like this to me and I got scared. I
I
was like,
know, but again, why are you
She was
saying
like-
it
and
like
then she was
mad
like,
sexual? Like we're fucking like in a sex. Like,
No, I wasn't
like,
thinking
thank
about-
yous for listening.
No,
to
I was
the-
thinking about all the ASMR videos that my kids watch on freaking YouTube. She's
No,
like,
I don't do
"Thank
freaky
you
shit like that.
for-"
She's like, thank you for listening to. Just say, all right, guys. Thanks.
all
It
right,
was an awesome
guys,
show.
thanks for listening and watching to the Pretty and Petty podcast. Again, to follow Gus, you can definitely follow him. His name is Gus Constantellis, right? Is that how you say it?
Constantellis.
Constantellis, yes. And his IG is constantly Gus.
Constantly
And our
Gus.
IG, Karen, is what?
Pretty and Petty Podcast. And our YouTube channel is also, catch us on our YouTube channel,
Yes.
Pretty and Petty Podcast.
Yes.
How do you spell it? UGLYNINS.
Also, we're on iTunes and Podbean and iHeartRadio, guys. If you can't catch clips of us, you can listen to us on the way to work,
Or while you're taking a dump.
or while I don't know if we're like dump conversation,
No.
but
No, we're definitely
if it
not.
if we let you flow that way, go right ahead. I mean, if it's gonna make you
If
flow.
it helps with the travel, then
Anyways, thanks again
Thanks
for
again.
Gus for being our guest and clearing up some Greek stereotypes and fun stuff. And
and
we'll
the
catch you on
cameo from Alex's dad.
Oh,
Cameo
yes.
from
Thank you,
that.
George.
Yorgo.
Thank you.
Yorgos. He came. He was like, what should I say? I was like, just say hi, Dad.
Yeah, he was a little shy there.
He's a little shy, but let me tell
totally
you.
opposite of you. Let's just-
No. Once you get him going, don't worry. He wouldn't have stopped. He just didn't know what to do. But
But again, thank you guys for
Peace.
listening and peace.
Bye.
peace.